Hi students, so this is Mrs. K. Now what we've been working on recently is the reading comprehension strategy called scanning. So what we've been learning about scanning, we've learned that it's fast reading, it's a fast reading technique, so we're not actually reading really quickly every word, we're just looking at the words and maybe choosing to skip a few bits and etc., because we're just quickly looking to find if we can just locate the information that we're after, and maybe we'll highlight that, maybe we'll quickly write down some notes from it. Scanning's really useful for finding the particular piece of information that you want, and it's something that good readers will do when they need this strategy. So like all of our strategies, we're going to pick the one that we need at a particular time. Sometimes scanning is not the strategy we want, and sometimes it's just perfect, just like it is for this boy who's trying to find out how a volcano is caused, and he's thinking, if I just look over here and I look at, maybe I'll find a picture of a volcano and there'll be a few words to explain that to me, or maybe the diagram will show me how a volcano is, how it's caused. So he's just quickly, as you can see, scanning over a couple of pages of text to find the particular thing. He probably almost knows it's in there, or that it's likely to be in there. He just has to find the right part. So that's scanning. Now, we've done a few different things with it already. You've watched me do some scanning when I was talking about that Noah's Ark article in that book, and then you might have watched me do the reading comprehension about Two Great Artists, and just show you how that could be really useful when you're doing those reading comprehension exercises. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now, because remember we always like to learn by first I explain to you what scanning is. That's called the explicit teaching, if you like. And then we do you watching me do some scanning. Then we like to have you join in with something. And now it's your turn. You're going to do some scanning. So hopefully you joined in a little bit on the last one. But now I'd like you to do some scanning of your own. And what I want you to do is grab something at home that you've got that you would like to read and do some scanning. So it could be any kind of thing. So even an internet article, who knows what it will be, and your home tutor will help you to choose something, okay? But you're going to then use our page. This page is the scanning grid. And it's a little bit like that last exercise we did. If you remember in that last exercise, that was a bit of a grid, and what you were doing was looking in there to see if you could work out what was the date of birth and place of birth and all of that. And you might have even gone ahead and done the rest of that. Now on this scanning grid, you're going to have a look. Now, look, almost anything that you read is going to have some of these factors. Remember all the W's that are questions. You've got the who and the where and the when and the what, and then we've got interesting fact. So it says who, where, when, what, and then interesting fact. Over here it says text one. So you're going to look at one of your books, something that you've read recently, and you go right along and go who, where, when, what, and an interesting fact about that. Does that mean you need to read the whole book? Goodness gracious, no. Does it mean you even need to read a whole page? Not at all. Instead, what you're going to do is you're just going to scan. Remember, scanning's like fast reading, mostly skipping things, and then you just come to the part that you need for that little bit of information, and you stop and you read it properly, slowly. And you write that bit down, or you highlight it or whatever, and then you get the next thing and you write that bit down or highlight it. I would like for you to work on that and see if you can find 3 different texts, and each time you write down who and where and what, who and where and when and what, and then an interesting fact about each one of those texts. And you'll have a scanning grid. Now, this is something that shouldn't take you more than about, I don't know, definitely no more than half an hour for 3 different texts. You might even be able to do it quicker than that. Don't get in deep and start reading all of the life story of somebody or something like that, okay? Because this is what you're practicing. You're not practicing reading properly, you're practicing scanning. You've got to go through it really super quickly. Okay, off you go, see what you can do, talk with your home tutor about it, and I'd love to see some of your work if you want to share it with me. Okay, bye everybody.